while we are in week 3 of the lockdown and it continues, thousands of waste pickers' livelihoods have also been disrupted. The Department of Environment, with the help of the recycling industry, has made available vouchers to be paid to individuals to help them through this period. Now, there are thousands of waste pickers across the country who rely on collecting recycling material as a source of income. Newzroom Africa's Mbali Tetani is covering that story for us, and she joins us live. Very good morning to you, Mbali. I believe you are with the waste pickers in Melville. Tell us how things are going there. It really has been a very difficult time for them during this period.
Yes, you are right, Tammy. We find ourselves in the streets of Melville as well as the streets of Westdean, and this is because a number of some household waste has been put outside, and this is as they wait for those trucks to come and collect them, Tammy. So when we see days like these in your neighborhoods, you can see that there are also a number of people who are waste pickers and who have these trolleys that they carry, and they basically go into some of the household waste and they look for various items which they can find, Tammy, so that they can be able to preserve some of them, while at the same time they can also be able to collect some of the waste and also use it as recycling items and take these to the recycling industries. Tammy, we are now joined by Cuthbert. Cuthbert, I understand that this is something that you make a living out of. If you can just take us through, when did you start with your waste picking mission, and basically why did you resort to doing something like this?
Okay, me now is 2 years doing this thing because it's where I can get something to eat, you see. And it's where I can get everything I want. My life is on dustbins.
I don't know if you are aware, Cuthbert, we know that the President has announced a lockdown, basically only allowing essential services to work. How has this lockdown affected you as somebody who is a waste picker?
This did affect me too much because sometimes I can sleep without sleeping because I can't go out. I'm not working. But if I'm just waiting for Tuesdays to come so I can get something to eat, that's why I survive.
You know that, Cuthbert, it is against the law right now to be out on the streets. Why did you force yourself this morning to come and still come and look for items you can recycle?
Because my stomach is the one that make me to come by the street to see, because there was no one can give me food. Everyone is inside the house, you see, so life is paid to us. So if I can come to the street, that is where I can get something to eat for me. And me also, I know it's a lockdown. I'm making fast so I can go back home.
And we know that during this lockdown, some of the recycling places where you take some of your goods to, it is closed. So what are you going to do with your items?
Me, I pack them there where I'm staying. I'm just putting, when it's finished lockdown, I can take out my stuff, then I go and sell. Yes.
Are you aware that the department, with some of those in the recycling industry, they've made available vouchers that you can get a hold of that can help you through this time so that you're not forced to come on days like these to come and search for items? Are you aware of this at all?
Me, I didn't hear about this thing, but if we can get something, we can sit at home. Yes.
Thank you very much, Cuthbert. Tammy, as you can hear there, Cuthbert saying that this is something that he relies on. It is his source of income. He finds perishable items. He finds also valuable goods. He earlier actually spoke to me about how he also collects cans, and those are some of the items that he uses to recycle and makes his income. We also know that, if you just heard there, he says that while we are aware that at least 800,000 rand 800,000 rand has been made available by the recycling industry as well as the Department of Environmental Affairs. But he's basically saying there, well, he's not aware of such an initiative. Well, we know that from the department, we saw that statement coming out saying that they will be handing electronic vouchers to some of the waste pickers to basically help them through this difficult time as the country faces the lockdown.
I do suspect, Mbali, that there are some logistical issues here and obstacles. There is obviously the assumption that the waste pickers do have, cell phones. All of them have cell phones in order for these electronic vouchers to be given to them. And it looks like a bit of an unregulated industry. Tell us a bit more about the logistics of how the waste pickers will actually be communicated to. For example, the gentleman that you've just spoken to has no idea about these vouchers.
Well, Tammy, it will be quite a difficult task for the department to try and get a hold of some of these waste pickers. Some of them don't even have cell phones. And, as you heard the story there from Cuthbert basically saying, well, he has no clue about this initiative which has been made available and is made to help them through this time. So it's something that, Tammy, when we are expected to speak to the Minister, Barbara Creasy, and she's basically expected to explain to us, well, how do they plan to get a hold of those who are also in this industry and rely on these goods, and how will they make sure that they actually reach those who really need these electronic vouchers? I mean, because for some people like Cuthbert, it seems as if he won't be able to get a hold of it.